Music, Universal, Sony. Basically, we do a lot of traveling between us, but it's really good to come back to the hub here on Holly, our wonderful and most beautiful boat.
Okay, so I'm Stuart. I am the editor of Music Ally, so I oversee all our journalistic stuff from our bulletins, reports, everything we put out. Every morning we send out this email saying, here are the 7 to 9 news stories that you should know about before you start the working day. It might be Spotify's done something, it might be here's a new startup, it might be Taylor Swift is in a row. The music industry is really global now, more global than ever before. We have a writer in India, we have an office in Tokyo. We can write about India or China from our point of view, but really you need someone on the ground who knows what's happening.
Hey Ira, so what's going on out there?
We launched Music Ally in Japan in January this year. We have now around 900 subscribers.
Sorry to interrupt folks working, I'm back. Hey Paul.
Hey.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the events that we do?
We run two big events, I guess. Sandbox Summit, which is our one-day digital marketing focused conference that takes place in London and New York. And Nylon Connect, which we run in partnership with Music Biz from the US. It's a chance for executives to meet at the beginning of the year and talk about the big issues.
Hi, my name is Anthony. I am the commercial director at Music Ally. I'm actually based in Medellin, Colombia. So we recently did an event here, which was a great success. We ran it in both Spanish and English.
We don't like that on-land thinking. We find it to be a little bit too restrictive. Here we have where we do all of our broadcasting from our little studio set up here on our beautiful canal side location.
We don't want to be only like writing about things and then maybe lacking the practical experience, so we want to make sure that everything we write about, we also actually tested it out in practice, so it's like constant exchange of practical
How's everything going with the training hub?
Yeah, it looks awesome. Look at it now.
That's a lot of content. How do you keep up on like all that content? What, 30 modules?
30 modules, yeah. So we have bundles which cover the kind of full spectrum of a particular platform. So for example, YouTube. And then in that we have smaller modules which cover things like optimization of your YouTube profile or remarketing or Google advertising.
These are pretty rapidly changing though. So, what do you do to keep your finger on the pulse?
We get most of our information that goes into our training content via our publications. So, any information that we write about in our sandbox or one of our longer reports, we get the information, we kind of process it, and then feed it into our training courses.
This is sort of a boiled down way for me to take it in a video format?
That's exactly what it is.
Hello and welcome to the new Music Ally Learning Hub. Simply put, it's the best new online learning resource for the modern day music business. If we choose this one, focusing on how to reach fans on TikTok, you can then see how that module is further divided into smaller chunks. Then we'll issue you with a certificate. Our courses have been taken by music executives at all levels for over a decade now, so a certificate from us means that you're in good company.
The reason that we have got a fairly solid reputation now is that we have been saying the same thing for the best part of 20 years, which is don't be afraid of this, just understand it.
Thank you for joining us at Music Ally. As always, you can visit us at musically.com. Make sure to subscribe to our publication to get our daily news and be kept up to date with everything that we're writing about. Visit us on learn.musically.com and also get in touch if you need some hands-on marketing or a little bit more Music Ally in your life. Come on guys, time to say goodbye.
Hello, I am Virgo Sillamaa, the coordinator of EMI, European Music Exporters Exchange Network. And throughout the following few minutes, I will be introducing the organization to you. EMI, or European Music Exporters Exchange, is a non-profit association with its headquarters based in Brussels, Belgium. It began as an informal network of some 15 music export organizations who met and gradually shaped the forum into a structured platform for collaboration and communication. IMI was legally founded in 2018 and currently has 29 members from 25 European countries, as you can see all across the screen. IMI is governed by an executive board of 7 members, with Corinne Satki from Centre National de la Musique as the president since the official founding of the organization in 2018. Also, IMI currently has a small team, including me and my colleague Chiara Gallerani from Italian Music Export doing the communications. IMI was created with the purpose of strengthening the European music sector and encouraging musical diversity, visibility, and mobility in and outside of Europe. IMI aims to achieve this through 3 key areas of action. Firstly, by helping our members to exchange experiences, information, and expertise, and fostering real peer-to-peer learning. Secondly, by encouraging and facilitating cooperation between our members and also becoming engaged in transnational collaboration projects ourselves as IMI, as you can see a little bit later down the line. And finally, by representing the interests of its members in liaising with the European and international institutions and maintaining a close dialogue with the European Commission and other EU institutions to represent and advocate for the European music sector. Here are 2 examples of the work we have been doing over past years. In 2018 and 2019, IMI was involved in delivering a study on the European music export commissioned by the European Commission. This research project shed light on the current state of music export development in Europe and set the scene for pilot projects and testing. Most importantly, the project created a framework for a European music export strategy, proposing a number of ways the European music sector, member states, and the European Union institutions could work together to develop European music export. Following this strategizing, IMI developed a 2-year plan to test several European-level music export collaborations. The EMX or MX project is currently ongoing and has already launched into a capacity-building program for European music professionals and exporters. We'll organize a digital trade mission to Canada, support the European Consortium to host an incoming delegation tour, and much more. Please visit the MX project website on europeanmusic.eu for any further information. But who are IMI members? What is a music export organization and what do they actually do? There is great diversity in terms of how the organizations are set up, what the actual activities are. As I said before, it really reflects the local music export ecosystem and the needs of it. However, the activities can broadly be grouped in 4. Firstly, export projects and missions, such as trade missions, presence at showcases, etc. This is where many export offices are present, promoting and representing their national or regional music sectors, artists, etc. Secondly, capacity building activities. This includes training, workshops, seminars, mentoring, various development programs built specifically to develop their local music sectors and music companies, artists, music professionals. Thirdly, promotional and informational resources about the music markets and so on. Some export organizations offer, for example, comprehensive overviews of their local, their national, regional music markets on their website. So this is something you might want to check if you're interested in that particular market. There is yet no resource that offer an overview of European music markets, but we're currently working something similar as we speak as well. And finally, there's a number of other activities, such as songwriting camps that have become increasingly important as part of export strategy, collaboration. And also some export organizations are quite active in participating in European cooperation projects, which are then tailor-made to a specific cause and offer certain kinds of activities. This is also increasing among European music export organizations. And finally, so how can IMI be useful for international music professionals and companies? If you're viewing this, you might be asking yourself exactly that. Well, there's 3 aspects. Firstly, information about one's country. As I mentioned, many music export organizations make available information about their local music markets on their websites. However, some other organizations who do not have that resource in writing can still be a good source of information if you write to them and contact them directly. Secondly, information about European export platforms. As I mentioned, Europe is a fragmented market. There's many different events, many music scenes, and European music export organizations are most experienced in exporting within Europe from one European country to another one. So a European music export organization has a lot of experience and expertise as to how to build an export strategy in Europe. And finally, access to further networks. An EMI member can be a good gateway into the national or regional music scene, as they have all the necessary contacts and can guide you further if you're interested in that particular country. I hope this very brief overview of EMI, the European Music Exporters Exchange, offer you some insight as to who we are, what we do, and how we can be of use to you. Thanks for listening. Visit our website for further information and drop us an email if you have any further questions.
Thanks to a recent amendment in copyright law, neighbouring rights are now being introduced into China. In addition, Chinese performers are able to collect these royalties from societies across the world. But don't worry if it's a term you've never heard before, because you're certainly not alone. That's why we're here to help clear the confusion for artists, rights holders, and managers alike. So what are they? Simply put, neighbouring rights are a sound recording royalty for any performer who has made an audible contribution to a recording that is played in public. From dexterous guitar solos to simple hand claps, if you featured, you could be paid neighbouring rights. Here at IFR, or the International Association for Artists and Rights Holders, we're helping artists across the world to better understand this income stream and take back what they're owed. We're a non-profit, neutral organisation made up of industry professionals, and it's through their experience that we're able to offer game-changing resources. From legal documents to interactive seminars, our focus is to protect, educate and advocate for those who are entitled to neighbouring rights. Signing up is simple, and we have a range of membership options available. So whether you're a student or you represent a number of artists, get the access you need today. All you have to do is visit ifr.co.uk and click Join Us. From there, you'll have all the tools you need to learn about this income stream and potentially claim up to 50% more on your future royalties. We hope to see you soon. The world of music royalties can be a confusing place, but it doesn't have to be. In this video, we're going to talk about something entirely new to China, and that could help you claim up to 50% more of your future royalties. Thanks to a recent amendment in copyright law, neighbouring rights are now being introduced into China. In addition, Chinese performers are able to collect these royalties from societies across the world. Don't worry if it's a term you've never heard before, you're certainly not alone. That's why we're here to help you learn more. Whether you're the artist, rights holder, manager or agent, we'll lead you through the confusion. To offer a basic introduction and to get us started, here's IFR board members Shari Hoffman and Ann Tausis at a recent web event that you can watch now in full on our website.
The thing is, what are neighboring rights and where do they come from? So neighboring rights are also known as related rights because they sit next to the publishing copyright. It doesn't mean anything between one country exchanging with their neighbor in another country, but what the difference is, it's a sound recording royalty for any performer or master rights holder who has contributed to a recording that's been publicly performed. Tell us a little bit about where neighboring rights come from.
Yeah, so as you rightly said, it's a royalty that comes from the physical recording. well, it's not so much physical anymore, but the recording, anyone who, so it's either the rights holder, so that will be the label, or the self-releasing artist that owns their own master rights. So it's that's one share of neighboring rights, and the other share is the performer royalties, and that is featured artists and any non-featured, so session musicians. It could be anyone who's made an audible contribution to a recording. Those are the interested parties who receive a royalty. So if you came into the studio and did a hand clap, that is an audible contribution, and you are due neighboring rights. In sort of clubs, pubs, restaurants, shops, etc. The CMOs license those usages and collect that money, and then they kind of distribute according to the rules that they have in place between the labels and the featured and non-featured performers. And also I should mention in some cases it's the same CMO, so the same collection management organization that collects for the label share and the performer share. In some countries, it's different to different organizations. We even have examples where it's split more than that. So in France, for instance, there's one society for the featured performer, and there's another society that deals with the non-featured.
So, why are neighbouring rights relevant now? Well, previously, it was only countries who had signed up to the Rome Convention that recognised and paid neighbouring rights. However, after recent changes to copyright law that are in effect from the 1st of June 2021, the People's Republic of China will now offer millions of musicians equitable remuneration for their record plays. Sadly though, it's not all plays that earn neighbouring rights. To explain in greater detail, here's a clip of IFR President Naomi Asher from another of our web events.
As a general rule, you do not earn neighboring rights from services such as Spotify, YouTube, Deezer, Apple Music, Amazon Prime. I mean, one of the things that we hear quite a lot is people saying, oh, I have all these streams. It's like, that's great. But if that doesn't translate into terrestrial airplay or digital airplay, and depending on where you are, that's not going to translate into neighboring rights. But there are countries, Spain being one of them, is now paying Spotify. Hungary is paying Deezer. And this is also quite a moving landscape in terms of how the different countries are essentially codifying streaming in terms of the various arguments between interactive and non-interactive and what that means. The UK, obviously, there was a recent letter that Paul McCartney and 150 other artists signed saying that they wanted equitable remuneration to become, payable from streaming, which would change this completely, which would be great. But currently that's not the case. Currently you earn from terrestrial radio, public broadcast, digital radio, but not these sources. So when an artist is looking for an explanation as to why their neighboring rights is not what their publishing income is, you might look at the streaming as the reason. If they're getting a ton of YouTube, but nothing on the radio, then that's it, that's why.
That's the basics covered, so let's recap it with another clip. This time from IFR's business and legal head, Stacey Haber.
So here's how the royalties go. This is for non-interactive streaming. So that would be like Pandora, anything where you can't pick the song that you want. The subscription services, the webcasting, they play I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. Now, Whitney Houston will get the performance royalty, the neighboring rights royalty. Dolly Parton, who wrote the song, will not, because this has nothing to do with publishing. They sit next to each other, as you can see, they're side by side, but forget the publishing. Now, if that station played the Dolly Parton version, then Dolly would get the neighboring rights royalty. So it's whoever played on it. So Whitney Houston is the featured contracted performer, and all these guys listed at the bottom, David Foster, Kiki Wallen, Ricky Lawson, they are the non-featured artists, the session players.
So how much is all this worth? To guide us through the numbers, here's legendary composer and chairman of Transparent Entertainment Group, Dennis Dreeth.
So I think, how much is this really worth? And we can look at this, and these are some pretty big numbers. You know, when things started, these were very, really small, but you can look at this as how from about 2016, these have actually stayed pretty constant. We can look at what happens. They obviously fluctuate from year to year. It depends on so many factors in terms of like the market. Probably the biggest fluctuations have been in the US. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. The US is the newest of all of the parties that come to the whole world of neighboring rights. We're not technically neighboring rights here, but we're going to call them neighboring rights for our own purposes. But we have a lot of fluctuation in our rights here. And I think it's probably because of the newness of the industry catching up and all that. I don't know if we're going to spend a lot of time on this, but you can see that this is really worth a great deal of money. And when you look at it, for example, if you look at just Germany, UK, and France, those add up to very similar amounts of money as we see in the US. Now, the US has a huge market, obviously with a very large music market. And the irony is that most of our money comes from very few sources here. So we're segregated into primarily things like subscription services and webcasting, and primarily subscription services generate the most amount of money here, where we have a much broader base of rights that are spread across the rest of Europe. And I think that's part of the volatility of the US market. So I think that's plenty on how much it is. It's pretty obvious that this is really some real money here is available for performers.
So where do we come into all of this? IFR, or the International Association for Artists and Rights Holders, is a non-profit, neutral organisation that protects, educates and advocates for those of us in neighbouring rights. We're here to help clear the confusion and make collecting your royalties as streamlined and efficient as possible. Our board is made up of industry specialists from all over the world, and it's through their experience and expertise that we can offer our members game-changing resources. From legal documents to interactive seminars, we're here to help artists take home what they're owed. Signing up is simple. All you have to do is visit ifr.co.uk and select the Join Us button. We hope to see you soon at one of our upcoming events, but for now, here's more on the importance of claiming your royalties, courtesy of our artist testimonials.
Hi, I'm Steve Ferroni. Welcome to my studio. These drums over the years have played with Tom Petty, Duran Duran, Eric Clapton, Whitney Houston, and many others. Just as a songwriter gets paid every time a song is on radio or TV, a session player is owed neighbouring rights royalties for public broadcast as well. If you have made an audible contribution to a recording that gets broadcast, then you owe money for your work. So you need to make sure that you're collecting it. My neighbouring rights income is one of my most important revenue streams. So join IAFAR and learn how to make it one of yours. And don't spend it all in the same place. Love you guys.
Hi, I'm Kelly Lee. I've sung records like I Got You for Duke Dumont and Jax Jones, Second City's I Wanna Feel, and More Than Friends with James Hype, amongst others. Just as a songwriter is paid every time their song is played on radio or TV, a session player is owed neighbouring rights royalty for public broadcast. If you've made an audible contribution to a recording, then you will be owed money for your work. My neighbouring rights income is one of my most important revenue streams.
I'm Trevor Lawrence, sax. I feel very lucky to have been a session musician, songwriter, music arranger, and producer for numerous recordings, including with the Rolling Stones, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Harry Nilsson with John Lennon, and the Pointer Sisters. My newest album, Crater on the Moon, Volumes 1, 2, and 3 by TLQ Plus with Masumi Yamamoto on piano, is available now. I want to tell you something very important that you might not know. If you have made an audible contribution to a recording as a session musician, background singer, featured artist, or producer, you are owed money from your work in the form of neighbouring rights royalties. The income I receive from these rights is among my most important revenue streams. Join the IFR.
Hi, I'm Naomi Asher. I'm Vice President of International Neighboring Rights at Sony Music Publishing. We founded IFR nearly 3 years ago to try and create a trade association for neighboring rights. It's a relatively new income stream. People don't really understand it the way that they understand publishing. Please check out our website, www.ifr.co.uk. That's www.iafar.co.uk. And we really look forward to having you involved, and you can learn more about this income stream. If you become a member, you have access to all sorts of documents, lots of sources, and please do support us, and then we can all work together to try and make this income stream more transparent, more accessible, and advocate for the change that it needs.
Hi, I'm Sherry Hoffman from Transparent Entertainment Group, an agency based in Los Angeles, California. We joined the Independent Association for Artists and Rights Holders to help promote the advocacy and education needed for our community here. There are so many people, so many music creators that don't understand this revenue stream. They only understand, if anything, songwriting and publishing royalties, and they don't understand that there is a performance right that's available to the performer as well as the rights owner of a sound recording. So what you may not be aware of is that here in the United States, the body that collects digital performance royalties is called Sound Exchange. Sound Exchange collects royalties for all performers, whether you're here in the United States, whether you're in China, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in Australia. If you have a qualified recording that's been broadcast in the United States, you can get paid neighboring rights.
So to be a part of an organization that has dedicated itself to educating the public, especially of those of us in the United States who had very little knowledge of this, even with my 40 years of career, to learn about these rights today is just so empowering, and I'm looking to be able to share that information as well as build my own companies around the new found income that's derived from all those sources. But once again, I'm Reggie Calloway, founder of the group Midnight Star and the Calloway Brothers, also director of music royalty funding at Sound Royalties. So it's great to be on the board here, and looking forward to spreading the word not only in the U.S. but around the world.
My name is Abby North, and while I am primarily a music publisher, I have learned more about neighboring rights from my association with IFR than I ever could have imagined. I'm thrilled to be on the board of IFR US, and I'm also involved with IFR UK. And as I said, in being involved with these two organizations, I've learned so much about neighboring rights, but I've also been able to share a lot of the information that I learned. And what I've recognized is that so many performers and sound recording owners have no real understanding of how to collect their neighboring rights. They don't know what neighboring rights are to begin with. So to be able to educate, to be able to share information is a real gift, and I'm thankful.
Feel
Hello to the independent music community in China and around the world. My name is Joe Danner, Member Relations Coordinator at Merlin, and I'm pleased to speak to you today. In my 18 months with Merlin, I've been incredibly proud to witness the growth and resilience of independence around the world during this challenging period. I'm also proud of what the Merlin team has accomplished on behalf of our members, clearly demonstrating the ways Merlin is here for our membership in both good times and in bad. For those who might not be familiar with Merlin, I'd like to start by outlining the value that Merlin brings to independence. Merlin is the independent's digital music licensing partner. We strike premium deals for our members with services like Spotify, Facebook, Apple, TikTok, YouTube, and many other global, regional, and strategic services. Our diverse and global membership benefits from Merlin's premium deals, but can work directly with digital partners. One of our primary goals is to ensure our members have the means to compete at the highest levels. Our members represent tens of thousands of labels and the music from hundreds of thousands of artists. We treat all of our members, from the largest distributor to the smallest label, on an equal footing. Merlin is owned by our members and operates like a not-for-profit. We have a board of directors elected from and by our members, and every member is eligible to nominate a candidate, and every member has an equal vote to elect our board. So what are some of the benefits of Merlin membership? Our sole mission is to serve our members' interests. And even if you're not a direct member of Merlin, the likelihood is that you benefit from Merlin if you manage your digital business via an independently owned digital distributor, nearly all of whom are Merlin members participating in our deals. The Merlin team is energized by learning about the needs of our members and what it means to each of them to be independent. And because our members have the freedom to choose on a deal-by-deal basis which Merlin deals they want to participate in, we only succeed when we understand what our members truly need. We have an innovative deal-making team who ensures that the value of our members and their artists' rights on digital services is protected. Premium membership terms include benefits such as advances, revenue guarantees, marketing commitments such as ad inventory, protections against royalty reductions, the opportunity to participate in equity in digital services, and more. We found that new members typically see an increase in performance with key digital partners when they join Merlin. Merlin acts as a bridge and not a gatekeeper to digital partners, giving our members direct access to those partners and helping connect them with the right contacts. We offer them guidance to help them understand, evaluate, and prioritize platforms. And we also help them lean into the right opportunities by accessing Merlin's best practices, webinars, and one-sheets. Another benefit of membership is support from Merlin's member operations team on delivery, integration, and technical issues. In addition, we maximize editorial and marketing opportunities with best-in-class pitching forms, as well as ensuring contractual marketing opportunities are made available to members on an equitable basis. Merlin members are also first in line for beta programs with our partners. When Merlin partners with a digital service, that service also benefits. They have a centralized partner for licensing, reporting, payments, and the support we provide our members behind the scenes. Merlin is at the forefront of seeking new partnerships. We take a thoughtful approach to our deal making to ensure that both our members and our digital partners will benefit from the relationship. At the same time, our priority is to ensure our members' rights are properly valued. While we put careful thought into every deal we make, Merlin also understands the immense value of blazing trails with our members. It's important for us to be early adopters of new platforms and features, which is why we were the first to enter into a sound recording deal with Snap. We were early to embrace Instagram Reels and features such as YouTube Shorts, and to partner with Triller. Since last year, we've also expanded our existing partnerships, as well as offering new regional deals to our members. We renewed all of our deals in China, including with Tencent and NetEase. We entered into a partnership with Dukes to enhance our members' repertoire across Asia and other areas. And we signed a partnership with Spearsvuk in Russia and new deals with Adapter and Peloton. Streamlining and expediting the reporting and payment process is also essential. This is why Merlin ensures that its members have access to the same data available to the majors. Our members benefit from API data feeds and trends data, among other data sources, as well as benchmarking analyses. They also receive actionable intelligence on deals from the Merlin Insights team. In addition, the Merlin team chases payments and reports, optimizes around currencies, and works to reduce negative exchange rates. This is to ensure our members are paid on the fastest terms possible with timely and consistent payments. We also deliver raw reporting files in near real time to members as if they were licensed directly by the partner. The reality is that we are firmly ensconced in the age of disruption, which means the incredible speed of change in the digital space is only increasing. This represents exciting opportunities, but the need to constantly adapt can be challenging. For Merlin, a core tenet of our approach is to build an adaptive organization by focusing on our people, our tools, and our processes. This allows us to be more nimble and drive more value to our membership as this digital evolution continues to unfold. Over the past year, our deal-making team has doubled in size, and our members continue to reap the benefits of that expansion as we're able to close new deals quicker and renew our existing partnerships faster. We've also added 3 new people to our member and partner success teams this year, and we've elevated Emma Robinson to run a new department called Member Operations to better support our members from an operational perspective. Our data and analytics team continues to help us amplify our deal-making process. And I'm pleased that we've added a new hire last year to this team. It has been Merlin's goal to grow its impact in this space. And this past May, we were proud to announce our new hire in Insights, Floris van Dam, who will sit alongside our data and analytics team. This new role will interface with our digital partners and our members to ensure our membership can benefit from marketplace and partner insights to take advantage of opportunities. In addition, the Merlin team saw a number of other promotions. Jim Marney was promoted to SVP of Member and Partner Success. Chris Tarbert was promoted to Director of Commercial Partnerships. Chaida Kapfundi rose to Director of Technology and Business Solutions, and Sim Verdi was elevated to Product Manager to help us better support our growing engineering team and technology stack. As Merlin continues to grow, so has our membership. Since this time last year, I'm proud to say that Merlin has welcomed over 47 members from 20 different countries who meet our unique qualifiers. We're proud to support such an incredible array of members and music in different languages and genres. From around the world, to name just a few, we are proud to have onboarded God Mode in the US, Ngoma in Kenya, Unices in India, Avex in Japan, Dream Peaks in the Netherlands, Kanawat in the UAE, and Superstar Media in Germany. Our collective approach means that Merlin now represents nearly a 20% global market share to the benefit of our members and our partners. It is our members who drive our mission and continue to inspire us to enable their independence. The board that advises and guides Merlin started their terms in 2020, representing the most diverse board in our organization's history, with representation from 13 countries. Later this year, we will start the nomination process and then elections for the next Merlin board. In this last election, we're proud to have welcomed and learned from Marita Sussex of Stolen Recordings, Chris Maund of Mushroom Group as board members. And we look forward to welcoming the next members who will serve on our board, representing the interests of our entire membership. All of this is to say, I'm incredibly proud and humbled to be a part of the Merlin team and represent our members. Each of us values the opportunity to help our members and independents around the world. This is why I'm so pleased to speak to this audience about Merlin. And this past January, we were proud to launch our new brand, our new logo, and our new way to tell the Merlin story through our members and their music. Come check us out at merlinnetwork.org and keep up with all things Merlin on our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Our handle is easy to remember, Merlin Network. No spaces, no dashes, no underscores. Thank you to the entire IMX China and IMCO team for inviting me to speak today, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Singvault started out as a traditional music licensing service, offering social media influencers track licenses to purchase and use in their videos. In 2020, during a promotion we were running, we discovered an opportunity that convinced us to flip the business model on its head.
We went from music licensing, with a market valued at $500 million per year globally, to music marketing, an industry 10 times bigger.
So how did we do it? Simple. Instead of charging influencers for a sync license of a track, we decided to pay them.
With 60,000 new tracks uploaded to Spotify every day, musicians are struggling to get their music heard. So we built a solution that enables a single artist to get their music networked into hundreds of YouTubers' videos. This was made possible with the introduction of VidSense.
VidSense is a brand new revenue stream in the form of a unique micropayments currency open to virtually all YouTubers. With VidSense, artists can now get their music promoted in the videos of thousands of YouTubers in just one campaign.
And the best part is, it's fully automated, fast, and 10 times more effective than similar marketing methods.
We call it the VidSense network effect. Welcome to Singvault.
Hi, welcome to Music Norway. I'm Catherine, I'm the managing director here. We are the export office for all the Norwegian music and the industry, and our ambition is to increase the Norwegian music export. We do that with a lot of activities. We both arrange for delegations from Norway to travel international. We bring a lot of internationals to Norwegian festivals and other meetups. And we have, of course, a lot of funds and other things that you can apply to if you are based here in Norway. But you can also just reach out to us if you want to stay in touch, get in touch and get to know some more people in the music industry here in Norway. This is my office, so I work mostly from here, but also travel a lot. And we are a staff of 12 people working here from Oslo. We have a small office in Bergen, and we have different people that work with different genres and have different specialities. This is Einar. He works for the classical and art music field.
Yes, that's correct. And I also work with Norwegian festivals within those sectors.
or genres, and we bring delegates to Norway and Norwegian industry and artists out from Norway and abroad. Shishi.
And this is also Nina. She works with a lot of Nordic projects, so she knows a little bit of everything that happens around in the Nordic countries. And Caroline here, she works with all the international delegation visits to Norwegian festivals. So she arranged a lot of the guest lists. So if you would like to attend to a Norwegian festival, you can of course reach out to Caroline and we will help you out. And we are more people in PR department over there. We also have a little meeting in here. This is Helene. She works with all the international activities, and Rosa is our project coordinator. And this is Victor. He's just attending a meeting.
Yeah.
Hello. So reach out and say hello, and we would love to stay in touch with you.